Okay, okay. Welcome everyone from around the world and in the United States. This is Diana Wright Show live online. We welcome you to the 8 o'clock hour and we thank you so much for joining us. We remind you that our crusade on this program is to love yourself, teaching you to love yourself and teaching you to teach your children to love themselves. And just reminding you that the root of all sin is selfishness. So were you kind of selfish today about something? We all are at some point or another. We're all subject to selfishness at some point in our lives. But I would like to focus on the love connection. A friend of mine is suggesting that what I should do is I should open up the lines and let you all just talk about love. Are you in love? Are you out of love? Are you tired of love? Are you broken up from love? We'd like to hear your thoughts from around the world and in the United States. What do you think about love? Is love a real thing? Is it an action word or is it just a word? What does love truly mean to you? And who do you truly love that you would actually do just about anything for? Who is that person? We're hoping it's not your mother or your child, maybe somebody else. Do you have a secret admirer that you're thinking about? Those are some of the thoughts that I was told that I should throw it out there and see what happens. And how many people will try to call and talk about their love lives and their pain that they suffer in some of these love lives? And a lot of us women who live in these mansions and we're getting our butt whipped. But we have to stay because the Mercedes Benz and the house and everything will be gone if you decide to leave. So, what are you sacrificing today, this evening? What are you being selfish about? What are you enduring because in the name of love? What are you being beaten down for in the name of love? Are you one of those women being abused and whipped, but afraid to speak? And when you go to work, you say, oh, I ran into the door and hit my eye. Who are you? Are you out there? Are you listening? Are you watching? We're here to lift you up. We're here to give you a chance to speak. And if there's anyone out there who needs a little comfort, a little encouragement, a little uplifting, we would be willing to do that, to talk you through your issues and your problems, and to let you know that tomorrow is a better day all the time. And though you feel like the burden is so heavy, you're going to have to give it up and try your best to make sure that that burden is lifted off of you. So I'd love to hear your stories of love, because love is just a big thing. We all want to have it. We all figure we need it. We all want it. But sometimes love is not that good to us at all. Sometimes love breaks us. Sometimes love destroys us. Sometimes love brings out the worst in us. And I know that Dr. Simon would not want me drinking out of this plastic bottle. But I must. So where's your love tonight? Is your love only with Jesus? Or are you truly loving yourself? To give yourself that self-confidence that you need? Because you are the only person that can give yourself that. God gives you life. Your mother birthed you. But you have to take those reins and be responsible about it. Don't allow anyone to beat you up and you stay in a relationship because you're thinking about the material things. Don't allow anyone to beat you up and you go and you make excuses for that person. And don't allow anyone to beat you up and then you say, oh, he did it because he loves me. No, he doesn't. Love is not supposed to feel any pain. Love is not supposed to hurt. Love is supposed to make you feel good, make you sit up and hold your shoulders up. As Dr. Simon was saying, we have to be mindful of our posture. And tomorrow morning, as we join Pastor John Gordon, we'll talk a lot about church and what goes on in church and what we need to do as a people. And as we celebrate our new Pope, Pope Francis the First, we just see that he is absolutely a man of love. You can see the love just spewing. And he's starting to be a rebel already. He started today. But before we tell you that, we just want to encourage you to give us a call at 561-228-1921. Tell us your story about love. What is love doing to you, for you, against you, with you? Because love throws you curves and turns and twists that you sometimes just don't know how to deal with it. And maybe, just maybe, a little voice and a little word from someone else who is objective, who is not in your situation, can help you to actually move forward. So as I remind you of this, Praise Time Promotions presents Jesus Lives. And of course, they will be having a Second Chance and Anointed Voices. I should have actually invited Jay from Anointed Voices to come and talk about the show and what they plan, but my day just got a little crazy and I didn't do that. So I don't know. Maybe someone is listening and can call Jay and ask him to call me, because I'd love for him to talk a little bit about that concert that's coming up. Coming up June 16th. What's today? Today is the 14th, isn't it? Yeah, so it's Saturday. It's just around the corner. So anyway, that's a concert coming up. It's called Praise Time Promotions presents Jesus Lives. Live guests include Second Chance, Brother Robert. Who is Brother Robert? And Anointed Voices. And that's it. Clifton Tomlin. Oh, okay. Clifton is also going to be there. But they have Clifton all the way down in the bottom. I didn't even see him. Anyway, we invite you to go and join them on Saturday for that concert. And it promises to be very good. As a matter of fact, the weather will also be good. So you can get your jackets on, because it's going to be a chilly weekend. Maybe not chilly if you live in New York and listening and watching us. But for Floridians, it is, a little cool, like it is outside right now. But anyway, moving right along and going towards Pope Francis the First. Already he's making waves in the Vatican and in Italy, in Rome to be exact, because these are some of the things that he actually did today. On his first day on the job, he's ruffling some feathers already. He did not sit on the papal throne to receive the cardinals. That was part of the ceremony today, that he would receive all the cardinals, so he promptly did not sit in the throne chair. I guess that's kind of telling them, look, guys, I'm just like you. Don't want to be on a throne. You're going to work with me to straighten out this Catholic Church thing. I think that's what he was trying to say to them. We're all equal in this battle. So let us start from here, so I don't have to sit on a throne. But I'm going to wait until he's actually his installation and see if he continues on this same mode. All right. So he did not wear a red cloak over his white cassock. You notice that? Yesterday he didn't. Today he didn't either. Okay. He declined to take an official car back to the hotel, opting to take the bus with the rest of the group. I love this Pope. Already, I love the Pope. The women love the Pope, but because even though they are, kind of upset because priests are not allowed to be women, or women cannot be priests, and priests are not supposed to be married, the women just decided this guy is just different. There's something about him that's different. Is it his humility? Is it his kind of just, you see kindness coming out of his veins? Is it the fact that he chose the name Francis? And we all know that Francis gave up everything for the poor? Is it that he himself has championed the poor as a Jesuit priest and a cardinal? So I think we're all enamored with this new Pope. And we'll see how long the love fest is going to last, because I hear a lot of people who are not Catholic, like myself, saying, I like this guy. He just seems like such a nice, humble, down-to-earth guy on the street. And now he wanted to take the bus with the people and be with the people. Don't sit on that throne, that big old chair. Come down and sit on the same level with the rest of the cardinals. So we'll see what else he changes. I don't think he's going to go to deal with the issue of abortion and birth control and all those kind of things that people are trying to wonder if he's going to do. I think he's conservative and he's going to stay conservative. But we're hoping that he kind of faces and deals a little bit with the issue of women becoming priests. Because I know a lot of women would love to become priests, and they know that this is the last place that is blocking them from doing something that they truly want to do. So we're hoping that he will take that on, and a lot of people are hoping that he will clean up the whole sex abuse thing in a more open fashion and not try to move priests around and cardinals around when they do bad things. And also they're hoping that he will clean up the financial situation at the Vatican, which is something that he's been critical about in the past. So if he would take on the Argentinian government, I have no problem thinking that he's going to take on the Vatican. So let's see. Pope Francis I, we all love you. And he asked for prayer, silent prayer yesterday. So we will continue to pray for the Pope so he can do the things that people are expecting him to do, and the things that he knows that God will show him the way to get through to do them. All right. And, of course, we lead to another story about the Roman Catholic Archdiocese in Los Angeles. Settles 4 sex abuse cases for $10 million. Former priest Michael Baker reportedly or repeatedly molested victims in the 1970s. And Cardinal Roger Mahony knew, and that's the reason I kind of knew that Cardinal Mahony would not be chosen Pope. This was one of the reasons. He knew of Baker's criminal behavior and allowed him to continue as a priest. And that, I think, is wrong, because if you know that someone in your church, and it's just any minister, any bishop, any prophetess, any prophet that are in the hierarchy of a church, and they know that one of their deacons or one of their pastors or one of their underling in their whole process of power are doing something wrong, they need to call them out and kick them out of the church. But even if you don't kick them out of the church and you forgive them, they should not be in that position. Don't you think? I think they should be out of that position. So, in 2007, Baker was sentenced to 10 years in prison after pleading guilty to 12 counts of molestation against young boys. In 2011, he was released with credit for time served. So the Catholic Church has great problems, and we do know that people are expecting Pope Francis I to deal with it, but I am not sure if his plate could be wide enough and big enough to deal with this sex abuse scandal. Yes, the Catholic Church is quite wealthy, but how many $10 million are they going to be paying out? That's a lot of money. So we'll just be watching and seeing what's going on. And, Carnival Cruise Line. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Carnival Cruise Line is at it again. What are they up to this time? Their dream ship stuck at port in the Caribbean. So, this comes less than what? A month after passengers disembarked the Carnival Triumph, that was the name of that ship, after several days stranded at sea. Now, the Carnival Dream was stuck at the port in St. Martin with technical issues. Well, I'm used to technical difficulties in the business of television, especially, even more so than radio. But a ship going to St. Martin and telling me that they have technical issues that they can't fix. Carnival is paying to fly the guests home either to Orlando or their home state. Well, at least they're doing that. But why should you be leaving to go and have fun and have a nice holiday only to find out that your ship has technical issues? Imagine that. Less than a month ago, we had all those people stranded at sea and going through all those horrendous circumstances, doing in a bag and peeing in a bag, red bag, and taking it to another location and all that kind of stuff. Carnival just need to get their act together, because they're not just destroying their image from a PR point. They're also killing the industry, because people are kind of now, a lot of people are, have already paid down on their cruise. And, more than likely they are not able to get a refund. But this is looking not very good at all. Cruising is wonderful. And I totally enjoyed going on a cruise. Norwegian was my choice of carrier. But, I think Carnival they probably just need to just do something drastic. Take a breath, as Dax would say. Just breathe before or stop their ships for a couple of days or something. This does not look good for Carnival or the rest of the industry. Because even though you don't hear other cruise liners having the same issues, people are nervous and wondering, am I going to leave on my vacation and I'm going to be stuck at sea? Or am I going to leave and be stuck in another island and can't leave and go to where I was supposed to go? So, there are lots of issues and thoughts going around in people's minds as they ponder their vacations. And people love cruises so much, it's nothing for most people to just take up for the weekend and go on a Thursday and come back on a Monday, go to the Bahamas or wherever they go. So we do I truly believe that Carnival needs to breathe for a minute and see what's really going on. Remember, I think it was last year that American Airlines was just having a bad streak, a bad time. They were having seats jump up out in the cabin and all kind of stuff till people were wondering if they were being sabotaged. So what American Airlines did, they laid very low, no publicity for a while, and now they came out and they joined up with US Airways, I think it is. So they've now become, according to the ad, a better, bigger and better. All right. So we'll see. I've flown them quite a bit and they are a good airline, but it seems like they always have some major issues going on. But anyway, so we hope that Carnival will get its act together, because I know a lot of people. I have a girlfriend that's paying on her Mediterranean cruise by Carnival, and I hope and I pray that she will be able to have a good time on her vacation. All right. So we are just, as a matter of fact, more than one girlfriend. It's like two of them, is two couples that I know that are going together on this cruise. So I just pray and hope that, they actually get to go and get to enjoy their vacation on Carnival. So I hope they get their act together soon. All right. Politics. Let's go for the politics. Go for the guzzler. Yes. Because you see, Ted Cruz the senator from Texas, who's a newcomer, who is looking to make a name, you see. And he believes that he can, apart from trying to assassinate the character of our now Chief Defense Secretary, Chuck Hagel, he tried to assassinate the man's character. So today he thought he would try a little dressing down, educating thing with my favorite senator, one of my favorite senators, Dianne Feinstein. Some people say Feinstein. I don't know which one she prefers, but Feinstein sounds good to me. But he proceeded to try to school her about the Constitution. Because you see, Mr. Ted Cruz believes that he's the smartest kid on the block. He's the smartest kid in the Senate. Like Mr. Paul Ryan think he's the smartest guy in Congress. And none of them are. So, as he proceeded to school our wonderful senator, seasoned Senator Dianne Feinstein, with her distinguished voice, she just dressed him down. I think the only thing was left for her to do was take off her high heel shoes and clock him in his head with it. Because he was rude, condescending, disrespectful. Every adjective that you could put to that word, he was today. And I am so proud of Senator Dianne Feinstein for putting Ted Cruz in his place. Trying to teach her about the Constitution. Who does he think he is? He is actually, in my opinion, a media whore and a hunger for people to notice and see who he is. And he better know that the more he shows up himself, the more he tries to assassinate other people's character, the more he tries to be Mr. Tough Guy when he's doing anything, any kind of nomination approval or anything of that nature, and he wants to shine, he might be shining his way back to Texas. Because people who are like that normally get crushed very quickly. Paul Ryan is another one that's going to get crushed with his big old blue eyes. He's going to get crushed too. And Marco Rubio, people need to stop comparing him to Barack Obama, because he's no Barack Obama. And he will not be the president of the United States in 2016 either. I am here to predict that on this Diana Wright Show live online. Yes, I said it. Marco Rubio will not be the president of the United States. Because you see, when you start off by lying in your own book about the fact that your parents fled Cuba because of the oppression of Castro, and when we check it out, you must always remember that people in the media in the United States will always check the facts. And the fact is that they came here just like any other immigrant, trying to seek a better life in the wonderful United States of America. So why can't you just say that? Why do you have to add to the story or dress it up or milk it? Because you think and you believe that people will gravitate to you more because you came through the struggle and the oppression of Castro. No, you're going to be found out. And by the way, Mr. Marco Rubio, nothing against you personally, but you're not Barack Obama, please. And stop taking the president's middle-class language and words and put it in your own speech and making it sound like it's yours. It's not yours. All of a sudden, now, Republican Tea Party candidate Marco Rubio is thinking about the middle class? And you're neither freeloaders nor liberals? I wonder if you think we're not listening and we're not watching CPAC. The big CPAC where they have a bunch of losers like Donald Trump and Mitt Romney and Sarah Palin and Alan West with his crazy self. All there making their crazy speeches. And of course they left out one of the most likable persons, even though he's Republican. Chris Christie from New Jersey. They also left out the governor of West Virginia too. Yes. Yeah. So you see, the Republicans only like people who are on the extreme, living on the edge. Like Mr. Ted Cruz. I loved when Senator Feinstein asked him, okay, so would you like us to give them some bazookas too? He couldn't answer. Because he wants everyone in America to be armed. I don't want no gun. No thank you, Mr. Cruz. No guns for me. And I'm sure a lot of people I know don't want a gun. So if you want to arm the entire United States of America, and you believe that people should have guns in bars, just chill up some margaritas and some scotch. And a few more, maybe some Baileys, which is a slow killer. Or a whole lot of wine. And see how fast people in that bar will be shooting each other. And all the teenagers that you want to have guns, watch how fast they will be killing their friends in friendly fire. So if you are so willing to talk about you're taking away the constitutional rights of Americans, I don't want a gun. And I don't want any guns in my house or anyone near me to have no gun. Because when tempers flare and guns are around, people do crazy things. What about that? Mr. Cruz does not even understand. I'm quite puzzled about that. Because I think that's simple. That's elementary. If you're giving guys going into a bar guns in their waist, making them feel like they're just a little more macho than they already think they are, what are they going to do? All they need is 2 scotch and 2, whiskey or 2, whatever, 6 beers and they're at it. Or a couple of tequilas and that kind of stuff. What kind of crazy society are we trying to find here or create in this country? And I don't know if the Republicans are not thinking, but they seem to be quite happy at CPAC with their losing people. And they don't want to change in their principles. What principle? What principle does Alan West have when he gets on television and talk all kind of nasty things about Democrats and the president? What kind of principle is that? And as we await to hear what the Donald will say and what Mr. Romney will say, because you see, that young man last night who was talking about, Scott Prouty is his name, Scott Prouty, who is the man who taped that 47% comment. As I listened to him tell Ed Schultz that, it just irked him to see that what he was saying in the room was not what he was saying in public. And this, my fellow Americans, should teach us a lesson. When you're going to vote for someone, you should not vote for them because they're black, because they're white, because they're other. You need to vote for them based on research of their past and knowing and reading between the lines of what they're telling you. Because they're telling you one thing and some of them are doing the opposite thing. So we gotta be careful about who we give our vote. And as I am saying, I would hope that no one goes and votes next year for the midterm elections. Because lots of people are going to be up for election. So we should exercise our power and stay home, like they did in California this week. Everything starts in California and New York, I told you. So, being so offensive and, the breakthrough of the, the whole, according to the president, gobbledygook, Obama and his charm offensive, as they're calling it. The president is still not pleasing Speaker Boehner. Speaker Boehner still wants him to do more. And one little call and a little dinner and a breakfast can't change things. Well, Mr. Boehner, if you try to work and compromise and stop talking about there'll be no revenue, all you want is cut, maybe, just maybe, things may get a little better. So, I guess that, the ballers and the losers at the CPAC, we will hear, because they'll run all the excerpts. I hope they don't have Rush Limbaugh jumping up and down like he's crazy like last year. In his black jacket or his black shirt, whatever he had on, it was black. And he was just jumping like he was on some kind of drug or something. Jumping up and down like he couldn't stop. And everybody was wondering, what's his problem? I hope they don't have that this year. But so far, the Republicans are giving you nothing new, nothing fresh, nothing to move forward. They're still talking about the same old thing. I guess no wonder they're called the Grand Old Party. So, Grand Old Party. Imagine that. All right? So, let's just be satisfied that they're the Grand Old Party. How about that? And that will make us not want to worry about anything anymore. I see immigrants are getting a whole lot of love in Michigan. Many metropolitan areas like New York, Chicago, Detroit, Pittsburgh, and St. Louis, or St. Louis, are losing residents to other states like Michigan. Michigan Governor Rick Snyder, Republican he is, speaking at an immigrant conference said, and I quote, "Please come here. Michigan should be a top destination for legal immigrants to come and boost Detroit and other struggling areas." He then added, "Immigrants are innovators and entrepreneurs." Who knew that a Republican could actually say that? Immigrants are innovators and entrepreneurs. Because a lot of immigrants who come here, from the Chinese to the Indians to the Jamaicans to the Bajans to wherever they come from, to European, Italian, they come and they want to start a business. Because in their mind, all things are possible once you touch the soil of the United States of America. So they're here to find the American dream, and they figure the way to get it is through business. So all the Republicans are looking down on immigrants. Here we go. We have the governor of Michigan saying, "Come here. I want you here in Michigan because you are actually innovators and entrepreneurs." So let us give a shoulder tap to all immigrants in this country who are here. He stressed legal though. So I guess if you're illegal or you are undocumented, you're not that important. See how good I've gotten? I remember Elder Seaton taught us that on Wednesday, because he taught us that there are undocumented people and there are illegal people. Illegal people are the people who come here legally with a visa but decide to stay over time. And the undocumented ones are the ones who come by sea and whatever else, or however else they get here, but they have no documents. So hence, undocumented. Good lesson. So we just remind you that come March 20th, they're having an event. And you can call Elder Will Seaton for more details at 646-239-7847. That's 646-239-7847. And you can email him at cushunited@gmail.com. That's CUSH, cushunited@gmail.com. Also, they'll have 10 buses leaving New York, and they're going to have people coming from all over the country to join them in Washington, D.C., as they fight for their cause, which is Blacks for Immigration Reform. All right? So we wish them well. The event is on the 20th of March, and they're letting you know that you can hop on the bus, and it's free, and they'll be serving breakfast and all that kind of stuff. So there you go. something for you to look forward to. And even if you're not an immigrant, you can go in support if you are in the neighborhood. All right. I saw this online today and I thought this was really funny. So I thought I would kind of share it with you as we go through the program. This is the Diana Wright Show live online. My name is Diana Wright and we welcome you to the program and thank you so much for joining us. Of course, we are reminding you that tomorrow our special guest tomorrow morning will be Pastor John Gordon, and he will be our guest. We'll talk about a range of topics and we hope that you will join us. You will stay tuned, you will tune in and tell a friend and give us the love on Facebook. Give us thumbs up. Go on Facebook now and send it out to all your friends that Pastor John Gordon will be on the program with me tomorrow morning. And also, what's going to happen? I want you to remember October 5. October 5 is when you'll get a chance to save a life with Save a Life Jamaica Foundation, headed by Novelet Gale, and we would like for you to save your $20 because that's all it's going to cost you to save a life. Imagine that. And we're going to have a fabulous affair. We'll tell you more about it as we go along. But don't forget, October 5th. That's the date to save the date. All right? So we ask you to give us and send us emails at dianawrighttv@gmail.com. And give us your ideas about topics that we need to touch and experts that we need to have on the show. And, we hope that some way, somehow, if you miss a show, you will go on my website. Just click on the YouTube icon at the bottom and go to the show that you missed that day. And if you want to see it directly on the website, it would take maybe a day or two to get that done. But anyway, you'll find it either way. All right, just reminding you also that every Wednesday we'll be having Dax Dunn to join us on the program via Skype. Trying to get some other people on Skype, but everybody seems to be shy and want to be on the phone only. Okay, that's fine. All right, so Dax is brave, Dax will take anything on. So he was my inaugural person. So we continue with Dax and wellness next week, and we're trying to have Dr. Matthew Simon, the chiropractor, come back at least once a month. And we have our Pastor Monrose from Brooklyn, New York, who will join us once a month also. So we're lining up the experts for you. If you have an expert that you think we should tap into, then let me know. Please give me a call. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. And if you'd like for me to speak at your occasion or your ceremony or your church or whatever to spread the I Love Me crusade concept, I'll be there also to give my testimony and of course to talk about my book that's coming out soon. So what word would you use to describe your marriage? And don't forget, if you'd like to be a sponsor of the show or if you'd like to be an advertiser on the show, you hear me reading different ads for people on the show, just give us a call. We'll be happy to accommodate you. And if you'd like to just partner with the show, you can do that too. We need money to, money makes the mule go around here. So don't be shy. Come on now. You can go on the website and donate and buy my t-shirts too. That's online. I Love Me t-shirts. They're online, ready for you, waiting for you to purchase. Okay, so what word would you use to describe your marriage if you're married? And, we can kind of throw it out to significant others too, because some people are living together, shacking up, as they call it, and they're not married. So, we will kind of get you in the game here. Okay. Somebody said their marriage is a blessing. I'm just going to go down the line of the words that people used. Blessing. Someone said their marriage is Disney-esque. And they showed, the Disney figures and stuff. That means they're playful? What does that really mean? They didn't give a meaning to it, but that's what was said. Challenging. I can vouch for that. Marriage can be very challenging. And it is indeed a blessing, the first one, but I don't know about the Disney-esque kind of thing. comfortable. Marriages do get comfortable, and people get comfortable and stop doing stuff for each other. And like your husband trying to remind you that he did something for you 25 years ago because you forgot. He's going to remind you. We want current things. We want things now, today. Not yesterday. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is not promised. And today is a gift from God. So keep that in mind. I know that went over your head. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow is not promised. And today is a gift. I just remembered that quotation. It just came to up in my spirit. So I figured I'd share it with you. Complex. Some marriages can be complex. I can see how that could happen. Geeky. It showed them kind of on the computer doing some business, that kind of thing. So they're geeky, probably have an internet company, or they're doing an internet show like I am, or something like that. So geeky. I don't know about that. For marriage, geeky? Compromise. Praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. Compromise. That's what it is. It is. And we wish we could pass some of that compromise into the spirits of the Republican Party in Washington that controls the Congress, led by Speaker Boehner. And Eric Cantor is right behind his back, sticking him with the knife and say, I want to be Speaker. I want to get rid of you. And Paul Ryan is there saying, here's my budget. I'm going to make you look more stupid. And Marco Rubio say, I want to be like Barack Obama. I want to win. I want to be the first Latino to win the presidency. So we would like to impart some of the compromise that you need in marriage to the Republican Party so that they can actually learn to do this. Okay. The next one, someone described their marriage as delicious. Woo-hoo. I was trying to figure out all day what the hell does that mean. Delicious? Oops. Okay. One person said their marriage is all-purpose. All-purpose flour, maybe? All-purpose what? I couldn't get that. What is it? Okay. All-purpose marriage. Evolving. A woman actually said that her marriage is evolving. What the hell does that mean? Evolving from where? Coming up from where? What is it? One person said marriage can be fun, and it should be fun. You and your husband should have fun. And even if you don't, fake it till you make it. You don't know how to have fun? Just fake some fun. Ask your kids how to have fun. Do something. Go to a picnic in the park. Get a picnic basket, fill it with sandwiches and drinks and whatever, and get a blanket and spread it out under the tree with some shade. Make sure you have a mosquito repellent so you don't get bitten. But just go have some fun. Walk on the beach. Go and watch the sunrise by the ocean. Those can be fun things. Come on. Enjoy. Inspirational. That's the next description for some people's marriages. Inspirational. Transformative. Are you supposed to be transformed when you get married? I think I'll ask Bishop Gordon tomorrow. Yes, I think I will. Are you supposed to be transformed? I know you're supposed to be transformed when you get saved. But I am not. I'm going to make a note of this. I'm going to ask Bishop John Gordon tomorrow. One person said her marriage is a jackpot. Now, I'm hoping that she means jackpot as in money. I'm not quite sure what she meant by jackpot because they didn't really say. They just kind of put some dollar bills somewhere there. Partnership. That's a good one. You and your partner should be having a partnership. So you should share things. You know, you have some husbands who don't like to wash dishes. They don't like to cook. They don't like to do this. They don't like to do that. But yet they have no money and they can't do anything else. So, what's their problem? Okay. Solid is how one person describes her marriage. Unconditional. Of course, you should have unconditional love when you're married, isn't it? Until the sparks kind of slow down a little bit or dim a little bit and there's no more spark and you're kind of lying in the bed and wondering if this is my roommate or my brother or my sister. So, maybe. And this one, the word is so long, I had to break it up. I know the word because I've heard it so many times, but I've never actually heard anyone put this word to describe their marriage. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Some people can actually roll that off their tongue. But that was the last one, and that's what she said her marriage is to her. Wow. They were actually, I don't know if it was them for real or they just put a picture there of someone having a most fantastic view and drinking champagne. Yeah. So I thought that was fun, and that's something that could lift your spirit. Just in case you're in a marriage and it's getting a little so-so, you need to keep those things in mind. And those are the ways that your marriage should be described if you're in one. And then we move to some wedding etiquette, because I know a lot of people are planning to get married in May, in June, some April. Spring weddings are coming up and all that good stuff. So we just thought we would take a little time and give you some etiquette for the wedding. Some of them I kind of dumped because I thought they were stupid. But anyway, I thought they were actually stupid, okay? Just like Mr. Ted Cruz from Texas. Very stupid, trying to be Mr. Smarter than everybody else. How do I invite only certain co-workers to my wedding? How would you answer that? Well, the experts say that if you have less than 10 co-workers, you should actually invite all of them. All of them? I thought. And suppose I don't like all of them. My personal opinion, invite to your wedding only the people that you love and the people that you think love you. Reciprocity. They're reciprocating your love and they care about you. Those are the people are supposed to be at your weddings. If you have friends that you don't think really are into you, they don't need to be coming to your wedding. And if you're working with people and you don't really like them, I don't care whether they're 5 employees, 10 employees, or 2. You do not invite them to your wedding. Your wedding is your special day. You're in charge and you should be able to do what you want to do on that day. So whomever you wish to invite to your wedding, I am not an expert at weddings, but my name is Diana Wright, and I'm running the Diana Wright Show here, and I ran the Diana Wright Show in Jamaica and around the Caribbean and in London. And I'm here to say to you that your wedding should be invitations only to people who you love and who love you. Thank you very much. So I don't agree with the experts on that. So I thought I'd challenge each one that I give you if I get through all of them this evening. Should you ask for money for honeymoon instead of gifts? Well, you know that the banks don't have a registry yet, but in some cultures, you can. It's allowed to ask for monetary gifts only. And you can do so. Well, they were saying, you should have a small registry anyway and still ask, for cash donations, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think you need to have a registry period. If you only want money, because suppose you're getting married and you have all the things that you need already and you don't think you need anything else. Why are you going to waste people's time? Just let them give you the dollars. And you take those dollars and buy what you want, whether it's your honeymoon or whatever else, piece of furniture or a piece of china or whatever it is that you want. You should do that. Okay. Should you have a cash bar at your wedding? Now that one I pondered because I had no alcohol at my wedding. Yeah, I had wine, but not in abundance because my wedding was very, very small. 30 people maybe, I think, were there. 50 maximum. Certainly wasn't anywhere near 100. So, anyway, the experts are suggesting that you close the bar early, but you should not be charging or having a cash bar. So that means you open up, you know, get the house wine or whatever else there is, and then I've been to a wedding recently. It was a bar. It wasn't a cash bar. It was an open bar. But by the time you got in the room and got settled in, then the bar was closed. So I think that's what they're suggesting here. So you don't want people getting drunk at your wedding, okay? And you don't want people getting drunk and disorderly. Because people, when they get drunk, they behave nasty. So I would say little on the liquor. Wine, you know, Baileys, mixed drinks probably, like a special drink or something. Not too much liquor that will get people crazy, okay? Because people are crazy when they drink. I know. Okay, and I'm sure lots of you know too. Should you mix fake flowers with real flowers for your bouquet? The expert says absolutely. I say absolutely not. I believe that's the only day you should have only fresh flowers, because when you throw that bouquet, you want it to go to someone and it will last them just a few days, just enough to drive them crazy that they're not getting married. You don't want them to be keeping that bouquet forever and ever, amen, okay? So I'm not in agreement with that fake flowers thing. I think that's one day you deserve some fresh flowers that you can actually smell. All right. If someone invites you to their wedding, do you have to then invite them to your wedding? That's a sticky one. There are no rules on that one. No reciprocity rules. But I do believe that if it's a good friend and they invited you to their wedding, you should actually invite them to yours out of courtesy. There's no rules, but I just think can you imagine you have a good girlfriend and they invited you to their wedding and then you didn't invite them to yours? I don't think that would be very nice. So, suggesting that you do. Okay, continuing here with the wedding etiquette. When should the flower girl and ring bearer walk down the aisle? They go together or individually? What do you think? There's no rules with that one either. They can go together. They can go individually. They just need to go behind the groomsman and the bridesmaid. That's the rule for that one. Who should play bridal? Ha ha ha. This is a good one. I had an experience with it just the other day. Who should put on the bridal shower? A lot of people don't know. It should be actually the bridesmaid and maybe a sister or a best friend or somebody like that. And most of the time it's the maid of honor, not the bridesmaid themselves. Okay? But they say you should never make your mother give you a shower or any close relatives. It will create lots of problems if you do. Okay. Should you send save the date, a save the date card, and then should you send an invitation with that? Absolutely, the experts say you must send an invitation for your wedding at all cost. Whether you send a save a date or you didn't, invitation is expected and is the right thing to do. Can each bridesmaid wear a different color? Well, what did the experts say about that? Dress should be same material and similar tone. That's what the expert is saying. But I'm saying if you want to be different, I don't think you need to follow any rules. It's your wedding. Do what you please and what makes you happy. Suppose you like pink and you like white and you like red. and you like magenta, and you like chartreuse green. Maybe you want to do that. Why not? It's your wedding. Create the scene that you want. Don't let people put you in boxes for things. How much time should pass between the wedding ceremony and reception? I say immediately after the ceremony, there should be the reception. People are tired enough of waiting on the bride for a whole hour before she comes to the church and want to leave. So you should have, and don't go and take them pictures for hours and don't come to the reception hall. Have people waiting and totally getting bored. So they're saying immediately after the ceremony. So I'm not crazy. Okay. Is 5 bridesmaids too many for a wedding party? This is funny because one woman who wrote in said that her fiance did not want her to have 5 people because he thought there were too many people. Be like me. Only have a maid of honor. That's it. That's it. Less hassle. One person to deal with, one person to quarrel with, one person to know what color they're going to wear or which dress, which shoes. One person. A maid of honor is all you need. You don't even need any bridesmaids. They just create problems. Who don't like this dress? Who don't like that color? And that style doesn't fit me. And I hate that fabric. And oh my goodness, you hear them all the time. Yapping, yapping, yapping. So, bridesmaids. Haha. All right, I don't know what is coming up here, but I would like to get rid of this immediately from here. All right, thank you very much. All right, I don't know what my finger must have touched something there. You know, these things are so delicate, and you have to be speaking and watching the camera and doing everything all by yourself. But it's all in the vein of the internet, and it's all in the vein of bringing you information that I'm sure you probably didn't even have time to read until you heard me talking about it. And then you said, oh, okay, I'll listen to what she's saying. Okay, so, don't have 10 bridesmaids, please. It looks ridiculous. So, no, not too many bridesmaids. So I agree with that groom that he just did not want to have so many girls in the, whatever. So you can have as many as you want and as little as you please. There are no rules or nothing for that. And it doesn't have to be symmetrical. You know, people like to line up this thing and everybody's so formal and so rigid with this wedding thing. A wedding should be fun, like mine was. Anyway, should the bridesmaid dresses be season appropriate? You know, I hear people saying, oh, I know someone that was getting married last year and they say, oh, well, I'm getting married in such a month and it has to be the season because, brown is the color for that season. I'm going, excuse me, what are you talking about? You get married and you have whatever color you want. It doesn't matter what season it is. So when it's winter, you're going to wear black? Some people are actually getting married in black. Who knew? Yes. But I'm just giving that as an example. And in this particular case, it was, oh, it's supposed to be spring colors. Phew. Wow. Too much stress. That's why the marriages don't last. I've been to some big ones that don't last. Okay. Non-cake dessert at your reception. That means if people don't eat cake, should you then go ahead and have something else for dessert that is not cake? If you can't afford it, I don't think you should. If you can afford it, then go ahead. What did the expert say? The expert said this: you are not required to do so. My feeling is that if you are, have a lot of cash, you can find out if your guests are, against cake or whatever, and probably provide something that they would like. That would be a nice thing. But if you're not in the cash business, then, it's not required of you to do so. They don't eat cake? Bye. No problem. Okay, can the groom have 2 best men? The answer is yes. Amazingly, I've never really seen that, but it actually is something that's happening. And men wanting to not leave out one friend over another friend, so they do it. Should we allow children? Now, That one, I am here to tell you that the expert says you should put adult reception on your invitation if you don't want any children at your wedding, and people should respect your request because children can be very disruptive at a wedding. So, this is something you need to specify on your invitation. And if someone you know have kids and you're inviting them to your wedding, let them know it's no offense. You're not offending them, but you do not, this is an adult reception. All right? An adult wedding. So nothing wrong with saying that. Some people might think, oh, you know, I'm ashamed to say that because they're going to think I don't like their kids. No, has nothing to do with that. Kids should stay home. If you have a flower girl, then our parents should take her home quickly too. And the ring bearer. Okay, do you have to serve dinner at a wedding reception? Now that's a good question, because if you're having your wedding reception at dinner time, I think you should. Yeah, and that's what the experts actually said. But for me, my wedding was early, so I had an order of wedding. I didn't want no stuffy people sitting at no table, and people were just mulling around. It was a small group of people, and everybody talked to everybody. Everybody knew everybody that was there before the end of the wedding. So no one felt left out or anything, even though I had a grumpy person there sitting in the corner. But because they were puffing about the fact that they didn't know something that was supposed to have been a secret. But anyway, moving right along. Yes, I'm giving you some little secrets to my life. Should there be place cards at your reception tables? The experts say it's not required. So that's an extra expense, because I know when you go to get your invitations, because I've actually helped people with their weddings, those extra reception place cards at the table cost more. Why are you going to stress yourself out? It's not required. Okay. Can you wear a non-white wedding dress? Now that's a big one, because some young ladies now are opting to wear pink dresses or peach dresses or off-white dresses, and their mothers, who are normally living vicariously through their daughters, are saying, no, you can't, because I'm paying for the dress. You can't. You have to wear white because that's what I want. Hey, moms, it's not your wedding. Your wedding has gone and passed. It's your daughter's day. Let her choose a black dress, a pink dress, a green dress, any dress she wants. It's her wedding, not yours. Thank you, Mom. I love you, Mom. Don't mean to offend you, Mom, but I want this color dress for my wedding. And daughters, you need to stand up to your mothers when you're getting married. You're not a little girl anymore. You're getting married. Okay? And some moms, when I watch that show about that wedding thing on television, I think it's on TLC or Lifetime, one of those channels, I am amazed at what some of these mothers want their daughters to do to please them. And the daughters are crying and whooping and hollering, you know, and it's like, give it up, lady. It's not your wedding. Okay. And the experts are saying depends on who's paying for the dress. I don't care who's paying for the dress. It's your dress. It's your day. They should accept the color dress that you want. I'm a rebel, can't you tell? What time should the cake be cut at a wedding? Well, the experts say early during the reception, so those who need to leave early can do so respectfully. And I agree with that. Don't leave the wedding cake to be cut after people have eaten and they're sitting there and they're wondering what's next, and the music is playing and people are dancing and the cake is not cut, and I don't feel like I need to leave before the cake is cut because I want a piece of the cake, and if I leave I won't get it. Cut the cake at a reasonable time after dinner. Remember, the cake is supposed to be dessert, so it's actually really supposed to be served right after your dinner or your hors d'oeuvres or whatever method you choose. So my suggestion, right after dinner, get that cake cut and put it in people's plates so they eat it for their dessert, and that's it. And if they want to leave after that and they don't want to dance and take part in all the other throwing out bouquet and all that kind of stuff, then it's okay. Ouch, this is our final one. What does the wedding party actually do? You know, those bridesmaids and those maid of honors and those people. What on earth do? They just come and take up space and make a lot of fuss to fight with each other who's going to wear what color dress and why I don't like this style and all that kind of stuff. Well, let me tell you what they really should be doing. The maid of honor should be throwing a shower for the bride, and the other bridesmaids are supposed to be assisting in the planning and getting things done. And of course, the maid of honor helps the bride on her wedding day to, dress, finish putting on her little this or a veil and little that, and make sure she's nicely dressed and there's no string hanging out or anything like that. So there you have it. And that's where we leave you. And we say thank you for joining us. Have a good evening, and I see you tomorrow at 10:30. Adios.